You walk into the room. You speak. They nod, but they don't really listen. You make a suggestion. They smile, but nothing happens. You feel it in the silence. They don't take you seriously. Let me ask you something brutally honest. When you speak, do people genuinely listen? Or do they just tolerate you? Most men go through life wondering why their voice doesn't land, why women don't respect them, why friends interrupt them, why they always feel invisible. It's not bad luck. It's not society. It's not them. It's something you're unknowingly doing every single day. A subtle energy, a tone, a habit. And once you see it, you can change it. Because real power doesn't come from talking louder or proving yourself. It comes from alignment, from knowing who you are and standing on it. Stick around, because by the end of this video, I'll reveal the one mindset shift that makes people take you seriously without pretending, performing, or raising your voice. Let's begin. Part 1. You don't respect yourself enough. Let's start with a brutal truth most people will never tell you. People are just reflecting what you show them. If you don't respect yourself, no one else will. It shows in the small things. When you over-apologize for sharing your opinion. When you nervously laugh after speaking, just to soften your words. When you keep quiet even though you know you're right. Or when you defer to others constantly, afraid of being too much. You're not being kind. You're silently training the world to ignore you. Here's the part that stings. It's not their fault. It's yours. When you act like your voice doesn't matter, people believe you. When you act like your time isn't valuable, people use it. When you act like your presence is optional, people treat you like a background character in your own life. This is what Marcus Aurelius was talking about when he said, "It never ceases to amaze me. We all love ourselves more than other people, but care more about their opinion than our own." That quote hits different when you realize how much of your life you've spent molding yourself to please people who don't even notice. So let me ask you directly, are you showing up like a man who respects himself? Or are you still looking for permission to matter? Drop your answer in the comments. No filters, no fluff. Let's get real and grow together. Part 2. You signal weakness without realizing it. Listen to this carefully, because it's happening whether you notice it or not. The human brain is hardwired to scan for dominance and submission. Not in an aggressive or animalistic way, but in micro-behaviors that get read in milliseconds. And here's the catch. Most men give off low-status signals without even realizing it. If you avoid eye contact, fidget while talking, break your sentences with nervous laughter, let people talk over you without holding your ground, or say yes when your gut screams no, you're silently broadcasting, "I'm not someone you need to take seriously." And people pick up on that instantly. They don't consciously judge you. They just feel it. And once they do, they lock you in. You become the nice guy, the backup friend, the one women like but not like that, the one who gets included but never truly valued. Even when you try to assert yourself later, it feels fake, because it's not congruent with the role they've already assigned you. That's the key. Confidence isn't about being loud, brash, or dominant. It's about alignment. When your words, body language, energy, and boundaries all say the same thing, people don't need to be convinced. They just feel that you're someone worth respecting. And everything from how they listen to how they respond starts to shift. So ask yourself, what subtle signals am I sending when I walk into the room? Because that's where the real power lies. Part 3. You're too available, too eager, too fast. Here's the part that stings the most, because it hides under the mask of being a good person. You want to be liked so badly that you quietly destroy your value. You respond to messages the second they come in. You say yes even when your schedule is full. You go out of your way for people who wouldn't lift a finger for you. You over-explain your intentions. You give more than is asked. And you stick around long after you've been dismissed, hoping someone finally notices your worth. But they don't, because you've trained them not to. In your effort to be accepted, you've made yourself look common, predictable, replaceable. You're not being kind. You're being desperate. Seneca said it best. If you live according to the approval of others, you'll die by their rejection. Every time you chase validation, every time you try to win over people who clearly don't respect you, every time you say yes to avoid conflict, you chip away at something sacred. your self-respect. And one day, you look in the mirror and realize, you don't even recognize the man staring back. Because he was built to be liked, not respected. That's why people don't take you seriously. Not because you're unworthy, but because you're too accessible, too eager, too fast to give yourself away. Sometimes the most powerful move is this. Stop showing up so easily. Let them wonder. Let them miss you. Let them earn your presence. Part 4. You lack emotional control. Want to know the real difference between a man who's respected and a man who's forgotten? It's not status. It's not looks. It's not even intelligence. It's emotional control. The world is always watching how you respond, especially when things get uncomfortable. Do you overreact when someone disagrees with you? Do you chase closure from people who've clearly moved on? Do you let disrespect build up silently until it explodes behind closed doors? If so, you're not in control. You're being controlled by your triggers, by your need for validation, by your fear of not being liked. Here's the truth. A man who can't regulate his emotions will always be a slave to the room he's in. But a man who can remain calm, especially when others expect him to fall apart, becomes untouchable. That's what Stoicism teaches us. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Marcus Aurelius. You don't need to raise your voice to gain respect. You don't need to defend yourself to every critic. You don't need to prove your worth in conversations that don't deserve your energy. You need to become so centered, so composed, that when you speak, the room naturally quiets, because your presence says everything your words don't have to. That's real strength, and it's rare. Start practicing this kind of emotional discipline, and watch how quickly people start paying attention without you saying a word. Part 5. You haven't built an identity worth taking seriously. Here's the final and most important piece. You teach people how to treat you based on the identity you live. If you're still living like the same man from 2 years ago, same habits, same distractions, same excuses, why should anyone believe you've grown? People take serious men seriously. Men who have discipline, purpose, vision, direction. If you want the world to respect you, you need to rebuild yourself from the ground up. Not with fake confidence, not with bravado, but with unshakable self-respect. Discipline in private, purpose in your steps, boundaries that don't bend for approval. Because when a man transforms, he doesn't need to announce it. People feel it, and they start treating him differently, immediately. This is the final chapter. The shift begins now. So if you're tired of being overlooked, if you're sick of feeling like a background character in your own life, if you want to be the kind of man who commands respect without saying a word, then remember this. It starts with how you treat yourself. The world will only ever reflect the standards you set within. Drop a comment below. What's one thing you'll stop doing today that's been making people take you less seriously? Let's talk. Let's grow. And if you found this powerful, subscribe. Because we're just getting started.